Sing now. Test, test, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, 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 1, 2.
Coming through loud on my end, Connor. Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, I can hear it.
Whoop, whoop.
Alrighty, so just throw us on, and well, actually, we got about 2 minutes. So, what's the? I'm gonna turn us down. And a very good evening to you and yours. We are out here in Lebanon, Missouri, the site of today's district semifinals. The Waynesville Tigers moving on last week. They advanced to the semifinals to face off against the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. Connor Harbert here with you today alongside my partner Garrett Bowles. A shutout last week for Waynesville. This week, though, gonna be a little bit tougher. A team that also pitched a shutout themselves, a team, of course, that Waynesville is familiar with here in the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. So Garrett, of course, hometown team, get another chance to call your alma mater per se, but of course, Lebanon, another good season under the belt. They've got high aspirations, but Waynesville, maybe feeling a little bit confident coming into this game after a good performance against Central.
Well, a shutout and scoring 18 points last week is going to be absolutely huge for the confidence level going in. And when you get to the playoff, confidence matters so much. Obviously, there's talent and there's coaching and there's a lot of factors. But like we said last week, a 0 on the scoreboard is a whole lot better than a 3 or a 7. You love getting that shutout going into a team that no doubt is going to be very difficult. Nobody's pulling any punches. It seems to be like everybody agrees this is going to be an uphill battle for Waynesville. But it was the same thing last week going up against Central, a team that had a very good and very high winning record. Maybe a little bit of a record disputation there in the middle every once in a while. But no doubt a team that is very good tonight in the Lebanon Yellow Jackets and a team that is ascending and kind of putting things together on the fly and doing very well so far in the playoffs. Of course, 18-0 against Central. It's good for the confidence, and it's going to be a big part of the game, especially in the first couple of quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, of course, last time out, it was Waynesville here in Lebanon. Like I said, our second trip here to Lebanon this season. Last time, 52-14. The final score. The Yellow Jacket offense, of course, very much a vaunted offense. We take a look at their schedule this year. Not a single week this season they have been held to, actually, when we take a look here, not a single time this season they've been held to less than 20 points this season. So this is an offense that's very good, and Lebanon, of course, took control early on against our Tigers, and we're kind of able to create the gap there. Waynesville, of course, would show a little bit of punch, scoring just before the end of the fourth quarter in that first visit, but Lebanon really did lead from quarter to quarter there in that one. So, of course, we have got ourselves 25 minutes to kick off here today. Of course, you might remember, well, you might notice, earlier start here today, getting started around 4:30. Well, rain is on the way, and according to the meteorologists, according to pretty much everybody, this is going to be a pretty big storm. Of course, thunder, lightning could be moving through the area, so in order to get that game, in order to make sure this game gets completed here tonight, moving up kickoff time 2 hours. That storm's supposed to roll in right at 7, so we may catch the beginning of it by the end of this one, but we're going to have to just kind of wait and see where things go from there. But of course, we've got Waynesville and Lebanon here tonight. And of course, our very own Marv Luton had an opportunity to speak with Waynesville head coach Kyle Barkley. We'll go ahead and take you to that interview. We'll be back here in 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and take a 5-minute break for that coach's interview. Don't go anywhere. It's district semifinal action. The Waynesville Tigers and the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back out here to Lebanon, Missouri. We are about 19 minutes away from opening kickoff in today's district semifinal matchup. Again, the Waynesville Tigers on the road here today to take on the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. Connor Harbert here with you. Garrett Bowles right alongside me as well. Of course, you just heard from Waynesville head coach Kyle Barkley ahead of today's matchup. Again, gonna be a bit of an uphill battle here for Waynesville. I don't really think that's too much of a controversial statement. Waynesville is the 6th seed. Lebanon is the 2 seed. Lebanon, of course, just one game away from a perfect record. Lebanon, a real successful season. The one loss coming to Camdenton, of course, who then proceeded to lose to Glendale, who, of course, then proceeded to lose to Rolla, kind of the transitive property over the last few weeks. But really, we should hope that that continues on here. Of course, you know, when you come into a game like this, yes, there's going to be predictions. Yes, they're mostly going to go against you, but that doesn't really mean anything. You got to get out on the gridiron here today, Garrett. You got to come out, play your game, and of course, you even heard Coach Barkley mention you got to control that football. You got to keep the Lebanon offense off the field.
That's absolutely right, and especially for an offense in Lebanon that is mostly ground-based, they are explosive. It's crazy to see some of the plays that they can rip off 50, 60, 70 yards, sometimes at will, from an offense that is based solely almost on the ground. And I say almost solely because they did throw for 133 yards against Waynesville in the last matchup, but they also ran for 465, so you can see where their tendencies really lie. And you can also see, unfortunately, how well the Waynesville defense was able to stop them. Of course, got a couple weeks under their belt, some more coaching, the team kind of coming together, it's getting healthier, and I think the most positive thing for the Waynesville Tigers so far is seeing the defensive line, how it's come together over the past couple of weeks with Central and with the other teams that they've played in recent memory, as I'm slowly forgetting Bolivar and Rolla and Hillcrest. The defensive line in those games has really come along right before our very eyes, and so that might not completely win you the game, but that is going to be huge in stopping a Waynesville offense that, for the 1,000th time, and I still haven't emphasized it enough, can be explosive on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you mentioned those 2 passing touchdowns, the 133 passing yards for Lebanon. Also remember, those 2 touchdowns basically came on back-to-back passes. You know, Lebanon is not really a team that will go to the air all too often, but when they do, they are deadly effective. Get this, their leading receiver on the year, that would, of course, be Austin Hendricks. 10 catches on the year, 6 of them are for touchdowns. He has more touchdown catches than he has catches that, well, don't go for touchdowns. So Lebanon definitely not scared to go to the air, and of course with a Waynesville secondary that admittedly has had some issues at times, they definitely looked better last week against Central, who wanted to go to the air quite a bit. They're going to need to be on their A game here today because the Yellow Jackets, even though they want to rush first, they can certainly do both. So speaking of Lebanon, of course, we've got ourselves another interview. Our very own Garrett Bowles, he got an opportunity to speak with Yellow Jackets head coach Will Christian. We'll go ahead and move along to that interview now. When we come back, of course, we'll be about 6 minutes away from opening kickoff here in this one. We'll go over some district contests from around several different classes. There's a few Ozark Conference teams still left. A couple of them, of course, dropping out here. A lot of them playing in the district that Waynesville plays in as well, but we'll kind of cover all that when we get on back to it. But of course, here comes that interview with Coach Christian of Lebanon. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back out here to Lebanon, Missouri, where we are just about 5.5 minutes away from opening kickoff, our district semifinal matchup. Again, the Waynesville Tigers on the road here today for the second time, facing off against the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. Connor Harbin here with you. Garrett Bowles, of course, you just heard from Lebanon head coach Will Christian. His Yellow Jackets 8-1 in the regular season. Now, I guess, officially 9-1 with their victory over the Branson Pirates last week. Again, a 40-0 shutout against the Pirates, and really another team with some state title dreams. And of course, you know, you're maybe getting a little bit ahead of yourself thinking about a state title at this point in time, the district semifinals. You still have a lot of games to go, but this is honestly a team with those aspirations. Came awfully close last year, trying to make it a repeat this year. Maybe go past. Maybe not exactly an exact repeat is what I'm trying to say here, Garrett.
Yeah, a repeat and then some is definitely in Coach Will Christian's mind. I mean, he has been at this program since I was probably, I want to say, 4 years old. He has been coaching to multiple different district titles and state appearances and things like that. But unfortunately, Will Christian not able to win the big one yet. So that is definitely something, he won't admit it, I am sure, but that is definitely something that is at least on his mind in some way, shape, or form. But again, like he said in the interview, it's one step at a time. We are not watching Camdenton and Lebanon right now for the district title, even though that's what about 99% of media outlets are predicting. That is not happening, and that will not happen unless two things go the way that those powerhouses plan to tonight. In Waynesville, obviously looking to upset those expectations, which isn't out of the question. District playoff football is so wild and can get so crazy. I was talking to one of the radio DJs back at the station. He says that right now there is a 6th and a 7th seed going at it in Class 4 right now. It is absolutely crazy, and that's the type of thing that could happen in district playoff football. That's why it's the best sport. I'll go ahead and say it.
All right.
The best sport. Absolutely. I'm excited for tonight.
I'll go ahead and hold my tongue for now here. I know what sport I'm about to broadcast here tonight. But of course, we do have some other games going on, not even tonight, but tomorrow as well. Of course, we mentioned this game being moved up a couple hours due to the impending storm. Some games moved to tomorrow. So taking a look at the slate for the district semifinal games. Of course, you're talking about District 5 in Class 5. We've got this game going on in here in about 3 minutes. You also have Rolla at Camdenton. Again, Rolla pulling off the upset of Glendale last week. That game's being played tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. So we will not have a score from that game here tonight. One of these two teams, of course, will face the winner of that game, but they'll have to wait an extra day to see how that one goes. Other games that involve teams from the Ozark Conference, just real quickly here, Bolivar. They are at home here tonight. They are actually just about to get started as well. That another 5 p.m. start. They are taking on McDonald County. And I do believe, as far as it goes, that's the only one left. So a lot of the teams, of course, playing here in Class 5, District 5. Kickapoo eliminated, Glendale eliminated, and I do believe West Plains. I do think they are. I need to check on that, but I'm pretty sure West Plains is still in it here as well. But our coin toss over at midfield, of course, the Waynesville captains, the same that they've been for most of the season. Nico Fow, Dave and Vernon, Josh Best down there as well. Do want to remind you that this coin toss is brought to you by Security Banks. Toss your coins in Security Bank and watch your money grow. Starters here today for both sides. Projected starters. We'll go ahead and go on offense first for the Waynesville Tigers. Of course, starting things out here again, the 6-foot-tall tight end, Josh Best. And on the line, you'll have J.J. Rodriguez, a senior. Jacob Forche, also a senior. At the center position, that'll be Jonathan Hubbard, another senior. This, of course, a very experienced Waynesville offensive line. Caleb Silas at the junior, the guard at the junior slot. And you have Nico Fow. He'll be the tackle there as well. 6'5", 270-pound senior. Tight end, you also have DJ Horry out there as well. Chase Thomas Plummer and Michael Kelsey Jr. are projected starters at running back. Dylan Smith will be your fullback. And, of course, David Vernon, he will be your quarterback here today. Projected defensive starters here for Lebanon. Looks like they're going to look a little bit like this. At nose tackle, Jaden Hubler will be at nose tackle, That, of course, is the senior. Defensive tackle, Ethan Faircloth. Defensive end, junior Gunnar Williams. Another defensive end, Thomas Howell, the junior. At linebacker, sophomore Jax Glendenning. Look for him to make several plays here tonight. And then at the other linebacker slot, the senior Nathan Bartell leads the team in tackles. Outside linebacker, Preston Ellingston. And then out the other outside linebacker spot, you'll have the junior Griffin Jones. Free safety, Austin Hendricks, team's leading receiver, but also plays safety as well. You'll have Jacoby Foltz and then Jarrett Singh at strong safety there as well. So the coin toss was won by the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. They have elected to defer to the second half, which means it will be Waynesville to start on offense here today. Again, Garrett Bowles, Connor Harbin here with you today. And again, we talk about it, Garrett. Important for Waynesville tonight that they have long, drawn-out offensive drives. I think that is really the key to the game here tonight, to keep this Lebanon offense off the field for as long as possible. Maybe kind of limit the chances they get.
You're absolutely right. Lebanon is a very momentum-based team. We see it with the physicality and the run-heavy aspects that they try to bring to their offense. If you do give up 2 or 3 big touchdown runs in a row, it's very hard to kind of bring Lebanon back down to earth. So if you do allow a big touchdown, which unfortunately is just part of the game, it's probably going to happen at some point, you at least want to keep your defense off the field for as long as you can, keep them rested, and keep this Lebanon offense cooled off as much as physically possible. You don't want them rushing right back out onto the field after a big score and going again. You want to keep this game as slow and as paced out as possible.
Kick is away here. 2 men back to receive for the Tigers, but this ball is going to sail through the back of the end zone. Might see a lot of that here today depending on the wind. Lebanon kicking with the wind. That one sailing up the back of the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. Waynesville will start at their own 20-yard line. So again, a chance to see this Tigers offense for the first time. 18 points last week against Central. Kind of a slow start last week against the Bulldogs. Of course, played a lot of that first quarter in their own territory. But once that second quarter came about, once that second half came about, we saw the Tigers really start to break through. Hopefully, you can maybe kind of get going a little bit earlier. Get going a little bit earlier on here today. So single wingback formation. Looks like it'll be Tyreek Brooks who gets the start at wingback here today, but it'll be a quarterback keeper for Vernon. So he dives forward here for a couple yards. That's going to set up 2nd down and 8.
And it looked like last week, around the halfway point in the second quarter, the Waynesville offense clicked, which is good. You want them to click, but you would rather them click on Wednesday or on Thursday after school during practice. You don't love to see them clicking this late into the week. So hopefully had a good week of practice, and they are ready to go, already firing on all cylinders.
So again, 2nd down here. They're actually going to give him 3 yards. Now it's a direct snap, punching through the middle. That's going to be, I believe that'll be Chase Thomas Plummer on the carry. He gets another few yards, make it actually about 5 yards. So it'll be 3rd down and 2. First 3rd down of the game. So again, Waynesville looks to have a positive first drive. We know Waynesville is more than capable. We've seen them do it several times this season. 7, 8, 9-minute drives. Not saying that has to be every drive, of course. That's almost the entire length of a quarter. But we know they can do it, and it certainly would help you out in a game like this. 3rd down and 2. Big shift on the line. And Lebanon's going to jump, I do believe, and I think that's going to be offsides, and I think that's going to give Waynesville the first down. But we'll have to wait and see. Some Yellow Jackets signaling that maybe Waynesville jumped. Going to have a meeting of the minds here between our game officials today, and it is going to be offsides called against the Yellow Jackets. So Waynesville, it's been a couple weeks since we've seen them properly draw a team offsides like that. We know they love to do it. But Lebanon's going to bite, and that's going to be 1st down and 10 here for Waynesville on their own 32-yard line.
And you could almost hear the Waynesville Tigers sort of exhale a little bit. You know what I mean? That the 3 and out is always one of the scariest things to do, especially when you're starting out the game. So to get that first down, whether it's a run, pass, or a penalty, definitely feels good for the Tigers.
A minute gone by here. It's a direct snap. Chase Thomas Plummer on the carry, but he's swallowed up around the line of scrimmage. Making it a couple inches, if anything. It looks like they'll give him about 3/4 of a yard. If we're going to be precise, it'll be 2nd down and about 9. 9 1/4. There you go. 9.25.
Not going to write that one on the official yardage book here, but it was...
Today's lesson is decimals, Garrett. So here we go. 2nd down and 9. Tyreek Brooks again, the wing back. Thomas Plummer in the backfield. Direct snap here to Vernon. Vernon going to carry it through, trying to follow the fullback Smith. He'll be rewarded here with about 3 yards and another 3rd down. It's going to be about 4, actually. 3rd down and 5. So second, third down of the drive. First time, of course, succeeded through the penalty flag. See if they try to get him to jump again, but I don't think this Lebanon team, very disciplined. Last time we saw him back in September, didn't commit too many penalties. Very clean game all around between both sides. Very hard to get him to jump. Not even going to try here. They're just going to go ahead and give it over to Thomas Plummer, who tries to jump over the line. That's normally someone you see in 1 yard situations, maybe not when you need 5. Going to kind of crowd surf a little bit there, kind of suspended in midair for a bit. He'll come down, though, actually on his feet, but unfortunately for momentum called, it'll be a gain of 1. And they'll give him 2, actually, but it'll still not be enough. It's going to be 4th down and 3.
An interesting decision there. He was about 18 feet in the air, it looked like, for a minute. My goodness, I didn't know CTP had hops like that. Unfortunately, not going to work out for the game.
Going to go for it here. Here's a direct snap. Thomas Plummer, but he's tripped up and taken down. And that's not where you're going to want Lebanon to start their drive. In Waynesville territory, and they're going to get a couple yards to boot. This one's going to start here on the Lebanon 39, or excuse me, the Waynesville 39-yard line. So, bit of a risk there. Maybe Coach Barkley, wanting that long drive, chose to really kind of gamble there, put it in the hands of one of his most capable backs. Unfortunately, this Lebanon defensive line also very capable in their own right. It'll be 1st down and 10 here for the Yellow Jackets.
That is something I wrote down about the Lebanon linebackers, middle and outside. They are quick to the football.
1st down and 10. Gavin Smith, the quarterback, hands it off here to Cade Musha, who punches through the middle. He's going to find his way into the secondary, and he'll get to about the 23-yard line. That's clearly enough for a 1st down. It's going to be about 16 on Musha's first carry of the game. And just outside the red zone now. Again, Cade Musha, senior running back. Lots of rushing yards for him. Lots of touchdowns. 1,543 rushing yards, 25 touchdowns, and no fumbles. We'll get to that here in just a moment here, Garrett. I have a thought on that. He sent a man in motion, but we're going to have a whistle, and I think we might have a false start here. Only one man on the offensive line for Lebanon. Not to jump. No, we're going to get offsides against Waynesville. Weird about everybody on the field moved except for the center. Normally you don't see that unless it's false start on the offense, but guess Waynesville got the early jump. So 1st down and 5 now. Trust me, I'm holding on to that thought, Garrett. Still want to talk about it here, but we have to wait and see how this one goes. It's going to be 1st down and 5 for the 19-yard line. Smith, another handoff here to Musha. Musha pushing forward. Going to have the 1st down. Going to get to about the 11-yard line. You know, we were given a stat sheet, Garrett, by the Lebanon coaching staff, by the Lebanon athletic department, of course. Big thanks. One stat that really kind of stands out to me that they included on every single leader is the fact that they have no turnovers. Gavin Smith, no interceptions.
Wow.
Cade Musha, no fumbles. Austin Hendricks, no fumbles. Kind of flies in the face of what Waynesville has wanted to do all season long. Here's a handoff. Jack Sklendenning on the carry. He's still on his feet after first contact. He's moving the pile forward. Ball's going to pop out near the end of the run, but I think the whistle had already blown, and it looks like they're going to give him the 1-yard line here. So 1st down and 10 from the 11. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1. Lebanon knocking on the door here, needing just the 1 yard.
Glendenning was stopped at around the 5-yard line, but a vicious spin move. Usually spin moves are all about finesse and footwork, but that was a angry spin move to get an extra 3 yards there.
1st and goal from the 1. Gavin Smith takes a snap, dives forward. He's going to find himself the end zone. Touchdown, Lebanon. So we pretty much said what was going to happen. Lebanon, a very potent offense. They've got 3 very good running backs. They've got a very talented quarterback, and they showed it in force there. A quick drive. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Ending in a 1-yard quarterback sneak for Gavin Smith. Freshman Rhett Rhodes on to attempt the PAT, trying to make this a 7-0 ball game. Snap is good, kick is up and away, and it's through the uprights. And so Lebanon takes a 7-0 lead. 7:11 left to go here in quarter number 1. Again, 7-0 our score. Back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Football, Z102.3. Once again, back here in Lebanon, 7-0 our score. 7:11 left to go here in quarter number 1. Lebanon, a 1-yard touchdown run. Gavin Smith putting the Yellow Jackets on the board here early on. But, of course, Waynesville back out for their second drive. First time, went for it. 4th down and 3, just unable to get what they needed. Now going to line up here in a bit of a different look. 3 wide receiver set. Remember, going into the wind. Pistol formation, man sent in motion. Now a handoff. Punching forward, Michael Kelsey Jr. Going to get himself a couple yards here on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 8. You know, we've seen this Waynesville offense really evolve throughout the course of this season. 3 wide receiver set. Usually that's been pretty much the passing formation, but a run here on first down instead. Handoff to Kelsey Jr.
And that's kind of the symptom of having a brand new coach, Kyle Barkley, coming into the season so late. He's still implementing the playbook as we speak.
Now a handoff here, Thomas Plummer, but the man on the turf got him as he slips and falls. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down here. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Definitely was probably going to get a little bit more there, but unfortunately sometimes that man in the grass has an ugly way of rearing his head. And it's going to be 3rd down and long, 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, there were about 3 Lebanon defenders. I would say he'd probably get around 2 or 3 more yards on that compared to what he did if that man in the grass didn't reach up and snag him. But nonetheless, 3rd and 7, and they're back out into the spread formation here.
Yep, again, 3 wide receivers set, 2 to the right. It's going to be an option play here. Vernon going to pitch it out. Kelsey Jr. trying to find some room, but he's tackled well behind the line. It's going to be a loss of 5, maybe 4. In fact, more closer to 4. Either way, it's going to be 4th down and 10. And I think after the first failed attempt at 4th down, here deeper into their own territory and facing a 4th and long, I think we're going to see, well, I think we're going to see a punt, but David Vernon still leading the offense back out there. Maybe looking for something here. Usually, of course, Bishop Godwin, the team's punter, but punting into the wind, potentially just not wanting to do so. Here we go, Vernon to the air on 4th down, going to go up with the throw, jump ball, and that ball is going to be dropped, almost intercepted, but it hits the turf, and the Yellow Jackets will get the ball just outside their own red zone. Curious to see them not punt deep in their own territory, but again, that wind gusts, depending on which station you're listening to this morning, either 39 or 43 miles per hour. So was that a conscious decision knowing that you're maybe punting into the wind, or maybe just really trying to risk it all here early on? Either way, it really doesn't work out for you.
It certainly didn't, and we can see at the back right corner of the end zone here an American flag blazing against them. There's no way that punt could have gone very far anyway.
Smith going to send it on over to Musha, who, again, punches it up the gut here for a few. This time going to be good for about 4 yards here on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 6. 5 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. Blazing out there, the back corner of the end zone. Blowing is the
word I was probably going for in my head, but I don't get paid to talk.
Well,
so
depending on how the lightning strikes here today, maybe. Gavin Smith again under center, 2nd down and 6. Man sent in motion. It's a pitch out. Taking it, corner of the end zone. That's going to be Jax Glendenning. He's going to be at the pylon. Did he step in? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Lebanon. A play not so different from what Waynesville loves to do. The jet sweep, the wingback sent in motion. Jax Glendenning, the sophomore, got a full head of steam and takes it in 17 yards out for yet another Lebanon touchdown. 13-0 here with 4:35 to go. So 2 4th downs here for the Waynesville offense, electing to go for it both times. Giving the Yellow Jackets the short field, and it's not really working out. That's the best way I can put it for you. Rhett Rhodes on to attempt the PAT. It's up and away, and he's going to sail into the band. Again, kicking with the wind here today, getting a lot of distance on those PATs. They'll make it a 14-0 ball game here. So, 14-0. Lebanon leads this one with 4:35 left to go in quarter number 1. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again in Lebanon, 4:35 left to go here in quarter number 1. 14-0 our score. The Lebanon Yellow Jackets 2 for 2 on their scoring drives. But Waynesville back out onto the field once again. This game moving very, very quickly as far as the team's pacing goes. David Vernon on the carry. Runs into his blocker, his lead blocker. It's going to lead to a short gain here of about 2. Trying to follow Dylan Smith through the gap once again, but Vernon maybe a little bit too quick, a little bit too eager to get to the hole. Runs right into the back of Smith and falls here, so it will be 2nd down and 8. So Waynesville, so far, 0 for 2 on 4th downs, yet to run a play in Lebanon territory. Just trying to pick things up here and maybe put some life back into this ball game. Already trailing by 2 scores, just 8 minutes into this one. Wide receiver to the left-hand side. Here's a pitch out to the right, trying to find the sideline. Now cutting it back up is Thomas Plummer, but he's going to be met at the original line of scrimmage. And that's going to be another loss here. This Lebanon defense gave up 2 scores to Waynesville last time. But even in that game, even back in September, Waynesville was able to move the football. This seems like an improved Lebanon defense. And I know we're already a pretty good defense to start.
I think it might be a whole bunch of different things. I mean, obviously, Coach Christian has already seen this team once. He's been able to kind of game plan around what he saw last time. And even though the offense for Waynesville has evolved quite a bit, I think Christian might have it figured out. As looked like somebody jumped there on the offensive line or the defensive line by one of these teams.
I think that might be coming back here. I think that might be false start on Waynesville, but I've been wrong before. And I'm going to be wrong again. It's going to be offsides here called against Lebanon. So I'm 1 for 3 tonight. And now I'm just going to let the officials do their job for the rest of the night.
333 still gets you into the Hall of Fame.
333, but unfortunately, we're not talking the right sport. 333 is good in baseball only. You don't see too many players hit that, though. That probably gets you into like the Uber Hall of Fame in 2020, 2022. 2023 almost.
A 333 on base percentage, pretty good even.
Looks like somebody may have jumped there. No flag. Direct snap and a carry up the middle on 3rd and 4. Again, that's Thomas Plummer. Thought Waynesville might have jumped off sides there. Or might have had a false start. Certainly looked it on the right side of the line. Either way, though, it's going to be a gain of 2. And another 4th down here. And again, it's going to be David Vernon who steps onto the field. So going to go for it again. 4th and 1 this time. It is their shortest 4th down of the day. Assisted a little bit by the penalty here, but it looks like they are going to go for it. Thomas Plummer is the halfback. Wingback looks to be, that is Tyreek Brooks, but a flag here before the snap, and I think they got him to jump. Trying to get him to jump here on 4th and 1. The reaction from the Waynesville players certainly assumes so. But we'll see as the officials get together once again.
And you don't want your best offensive weapon to be drawing offsides penalties.
It's going to be a false start penalty against Waynesville. That's why we don't go ahead and assume anymore.
See,
I would have gone down to 2
for 1.
You're 0 for 1, and that gets you sent down. Actually, it doesn't. You have to go for like, what, 0 for 28 before they really start thinking about it. But either way, it's going to make this 4th down a little bit tougher here for Tigers. It's going to be 4th down and 7 now as they back them up.
Don't look to be moving to the punt team, though.
Yeah, Vernon's still out on the field here, really just anti-punt today with that wind. Again, it's hard to really put it in proper terms how fast that wind's blowing here today. Vernon going to take the snap. Excuse me, no, it's going to be Thomas Plummer on the carry. He tries to take it up the left side, but he's going to be stopped well short. The penalty is going to cost Waynesville this time. Would have been enough for the 4th down and 2. Not enough for the 4th down and 7. He gains 4. But that'll be another turnover on downs. Waynesville now 0 for 3 on 4th downs here today. And again, Lebanon's going to get it within their own 30-yard line. Yet to run a play outside their own 30-yard line.
And this is kind of shocking from the Waynesville perspective right now. They've been a team, like we said, coming together. We were not hyping that up for no reason. I mean, that is something that we've seen throughout the entire season. And today, maybe getting caught a little off guard. We have noted in the past the slow starts for the Waynesville Tigers. That's something that they've struggled with from time to time and from game to game. Unfortunately, when you're going up against a one-loss Lebanon team with state playoff aspirations, there's no real room for error in the first couple minutes.
Smith under center, stacking the line left-hand side. Bartel set in motion, but it's Musha who gets the handoff. He's going to be mauled, though, behind the line, or at least close to it, maybe a couple yards. And it's going to be 2nd down and 8. Gain of 2 here from Musha. Not giving him enough credit. Musha much like Bartell and Glendenning, he may be the fullback, but he is very much the lead back in this offense. He has a great first step, great acceleration, great top speed. He's very much a fullback who can play like a halfback, and that's what makes him so dangerous. He's big and also has speed as well. 2nd down and 8 here. Smith under center. Again, going to take the snap, and again, it's a handoff to Musha. Hit behind the line this time. Taken down, but I believe he fell forward for another couple. And it's going to be another couple. 3rd down and 6.
And something that's impressed me so far about Musha and really the entire ball carrier group that the Lebanon Yellow Jackets have is their ability to find the lanes in the blocking. You don't need every offensive lineman to win every single battle. You just need 1 or 2 to create a little bit of lane and let these explosive athletic ball carriers do their thing.
Pitch out. Bartell here on 3rd down has a lot of room to run. Cuts it back up here. Has it the 15, now the 10. He's taken down here or near the sideline out there. I believe on the tackle. That was Chris Scott, or at least it's my initial view here. Maybe get a better look at it. Have eyes on it. Nope, that was not Chris Scott. That was actually Adem Must on the tackle. Gets in there and sweeps him up. And so it'll be a 1st down and goal here. Ball on the 9-yard line. 30 seconds left to go here in quarter number 1. 14-0 our score. Lebanon looking to try to make it a 3-score game. Bartell set in motion. It's another pitch out. His plays worked so well for him here today, and that's going to lead to another Yellow Jacket touchdown. 9 yards for Nathan Bartell. And it'll be 20-0 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. And again, Garrett, the field position, and again, it's kind of a catch-22. The field position, yes, not ideal, but the way this Lebanon offense is run, does it really matter where these drives are starting? This is just a team in sync. PAT is up and away, and it's through the uprights and good.
You're absolutely right. I mean, this has been utter domination at this point. Other than 2 or 3 plays where Musha was held to just a yard or two, Lebanon seemingly moving the football at will.
And so 23 seconds left to go here in quarter number 1. 21-0 in favor of Lebanon. Back in another 60 seconds, you're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back out here to Lebanon, maybe for a short time frame here. 15 seconds left to go in quarter number 1, but Lebanon all over Waynesville here at the moment. 21-0. The latest touchdown, a 9-yard run. Nathan Bartell. I believe his his first touchdown run of the day. 3 touchdowns for Lebanon, 3 different scorers. Smith, Glendenning, and Bartell. Now in the scoring book here, but Waynesville coming back on offense once again. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap to Vernon, hands it off here. Thomas Plummer bouncing it out left-hand side. Going to dive forward to about the 24-yard line. By the way, the return, Tau Ossie, able to return one, a return of about 16 yards or so. It's going to be a gain of 4 here on 1st down, and that'll be the final play of the 1st quarter. So maybe a quarter to forget here for Waynesville. Find themselves trailing big after 1. It's 21 for Lebanon, 0 for Waynesville. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again in Lebanon. Start of the second quarter. Waynesville switching sides, now playing with the win, but trailing big, 21-0. Second down and 6. Handoff, Chase Thomas Plummer though. Unfortunately, the win not really going to help you with the ground game per se. As this Lebanon defensive line continues to just be aggressive and break into the backfield. It's going to be no gain, if maybe not a gain of a couple inches. 3rd down and 5 is what they'll put on the board here. Another 3rd down here for Waynesville.
It has no doubt been a slow start for the offense. You see them kind of moving, but I think the inability to break tackles is something that haven't really noted in the past. Waynesville, middle of the pack to maybe above average in breaking tackles from time to time. Tonight, though, not able to escape the Yellow Jackets.
So 3rd down here again. It's going to be Thomas Plummer trying to take it up the middle. He's going to get 1 yard, and that's going to lead to 4th down and 4. So, first quarter, we saw Waynesville go for it all 3 times. All 5 times. Actually, no, 4 times is what the official mark would be. Of course, the penalty, their 1 conversion on the day. David Vernon's still on the field now, even with the wind. Waynesville's going to go for it here on 4th down. Steadfastly refusing to give that football up without running 4 offensive plays. So here we go, Vernon. Pistol formation, 3 wide receivers left. It's going to be another option play. Kelsey Jr., the halfback. Vernon going to try to keep it himself, dives forward. I think he might have gotten there. Certainly the closest we've been to a 4th down conversion on these 4th down plays, and I think they're going to give it to him. I think he got maybe 6 yards or 6 inches over the line there. It was close, about 6 yards over the 1st down marker. No big deal. 6 inches, and it's going to be 1st down and 10 from the 30.
And if you're the Waynesville Tigers, you're looking for anything to smile about right now. They just had one. Let's see how that impacts the drive.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of momentum there, but still a long way to go. Here's a botched snap on 1st down, trying to direct snap to Chase Thomas Plummer. He's going to be swallowed back, and that's going to push him all the way back to where they pretty much started. Well, had a little bit of positive momentum. Unfortunately, the botched snap rears its ugly head. Waynesville's done so much better at avoiding those botched snaps. Remember, that was a problem in the early season. And that's going to be a loss, they'll say, to the 24. Loss of 7, 2nd down and 17.
And the Lebanon Yellow Jackets all season have been taught to jump on those. They turned ravenous when that fumble was on the ground.
Going to the air here, have a man wide open. Josh Best with the catch. He's got some open space. Trying to rush it down the right sideline. He's to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. He's going to be tripped up. Did he fall in, though? We're going to be close. Touchdown, Waynesville. Going to the air. Josh Best sneaking behind the Lebanon defense. And, well, would you look at that? From the 24 to the house, it's a 76-yard touchdown pass.
Something to smile about. No doubt.
Absolutely something to smile about. 21-6, Waynesville, of course, going to go for the 2. That touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morse Ford of St. Robert, Waynesville. Ed Morse Ford, always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morse. Again, 76 yards, David Vernon to Josh Bess. 2-point conversion, man set in motion. Going to be the jet sweep. Nope, going to be a keeper here for Thomas Plummer. He's going to be swept up at the legs. Powerful tackle there. The 2-point conversion is going to fail. But the Tigers, they are on the board with 9:35 left to go in this first half. 21-6 our score. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. A sky-high kick After the touchdown here for the Tigers of Waynesville, going to be fielded and going to be returned to about the 30-yard line or so. And so the Yellow Jackets, for the first time tonight, starting a drive in their own territory. But 21-6 our score, a 76-yard touchdown pass. David Vernon to Josh Bess. It's been pretty much the most efficient combination through the air for Waynesville this season. Found another one. Bess wide open behind the defense. Cut the lead to 15, but these Yellow Jackets, they've been efficient on offense. The defense now going to need to try to pick things up here. Caden Musha the carry on first down. It's a gain of about 3. They're going to give him 4. They're going to say he fell forward for another yard. Second down and 6.
And that's the crazy thing about the Lebanon offense is even whenever it seems to the naked eye like you stopped him at the line, Musha falls forward, or whoever has the ball falls forward for another extra couple of yards. I thought that play was almost behind the line of scrimmage, but Musha able to finagle his way up a couple yards.
That's why I abandoned the binoculars here today. I'm messing with my depth perception here. Smith, a pitch out. Glendenning now on second down. He jukes back to his left, has the first down and an extra yard. It's a gain of 7. Needed 6, first down and 10. Now to the Lebanon 43-yard line. 8:50 left to go here in this first half. Again, two teams that like to run the football. So, as far as the clock goes, had a little bit of stop and start because of the scoring plays. But this clock continued to move and move and move and move. Again, 8.5 minutes left to go in the half. Glendenning sent in motion, but it's a handoff up the middle to Musha. Immediately into the secondary he goes. Tripped up and eventually piled on around the Waynesville 40. Still going to be a big, big gain on first down. And the Yellow Jackets find themselves in Waynesville territory. I mean, it's very, very hard to stop a team with 3 powerful, speedy running backs. If you're a Lebanon fan right now, if you're Lebanon faithful, you got to love these days like this, because not only do you have a senior in Musha, you have a sophomore in Glendenning, and I believe Bartel's also a senior as well. But you kind of see the present and the future here. Here's a handoff now to the senior Bartel. He's got himself a first down and then some. He's going to find his way for another 14, 15, 16 or so. How about 16? And to cycle through them there, but it's going to be a gain of 16 and another first down. But seriously, though, you're seeing the present and the future as well, because, yeah, you got Bartel and Musha, and you think, okay, they'll move to the program, and then Lebanon will have to kind of reset. No, they've got Glendenning out there right now, capable, a threat, and he's just a sophomore.
Absolutely, and even on down the line, I mean, this style of offense has been instituted at every level of Lebanon youth football.
Glendenning sent in motion, handoff to Musha. Nope, it's going to be quarterback keeper here, Gavin Smith. Of course, got to mention Smith as well in that same category. He's been a little bit quieter than the others today, but this time he's going to have himself 12 and another first down. 3 plays, 3 first downs, and Lebanon continues to march.
And that may be what happens whenever you poke the Yellow Jackets' nest with that big 76-yard touchdown pass there. Lebanon maybe asleep at the wheel, one would say. They got up to a 3-score lead, maybe thinking this was going to be easy peasy. Tigers reminding the Yellow Jackets that they're still here to play. Of course, Lebanon reminding them who the 9-1 team is.
First and 10 here. Handoff, Musha up the middle, trips forward, falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Lebanon. 13-yard touchdown run for Caden Musha, his second touchdown of the day. And the lead jumps back out here to 21. It's 27-6.
Absolute ground domination by the Yellow Jackets right there, seemingly running the ball at will. Very impressive. Like you said, 4 plays in a row and really 4 first downs, the last one ending up as a touchdown.
Going for 2 here is Lebanon. Into the wind, maybe not wanting to kick themselves, but a whistle and a dead ball before the snap. Both teams maybe shying away from kicking into the wind. Of course, Rhodes, we know, very solid kicker.
He
I
is.
assume he could make the 19-yarder, even though there is quite a bit of wind.
He is. I remember seeing him kicking a couple practice kicks before the game, and it was he was making them with ease.
So lining up for 2 here, I said with dead ball penalty. How about a timeout taken by Lebanon? And so it will be our first timeout of the game. Bit of an interesting call, though, for Lebanon to go for 2.
And then to take a timeout as well.
Yeah, it is a bit interesting, but of course, 2-point conversion would make it a 23-point game. That it would make it a 4-score game. no, that's not even right. That's not even close to right, Garrett. That would make it a 3-score game still. 25 is the 4-score marker. Don't know where I got crossed up there, but either way, we'll see what they do here. Still coming out with the offense, so it does look like they are going to go for 2. Trying to make this a 29-6 ball game.
There's a little bit of a confusing play call, no doubt, but
hard to make a reason for it strategically, but of course, you know, more points, never a bad thing.
yeah, if you score a touchdown, you get to decide what to do.
Waynesville going to jump off sides here. I think that's going to be the call. So another play is going to be whistled dead. And that's what it will be. Nose tackled, getting a little bit eager. I believe that was Nico Fow who jumped over the line. And so we'll try it again, 1 yard further up. 2-point conversion now from the 1-yard line.
Not a whole lot of plays have gone backwards for Lebanon on the offense today, so I would not be surprised if they're able to sneak this in. However, again, Waynesville defensive line has been improving steadily throughout the year. Be pretty easy to get a break right here, hopefully tackle for loss.
Well, trying to keep them from scoring that 2 here, but it's going to be a handoff to Musha. Going to move on into the end zone untouched. And so it's 7:01 left to play here in this first half. Lebanon leads by 23 here, 29-6. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Bit of a squib kick as we get back to it here in Lebanon. 29-6 our score. Waynesville trailing by 23. Again, Lebanon now kicking into the wind. Kind of a line drive kick against the ground. Rhett Rhodes on the kick. So Waynesville, their best field position here on this latest drive. First down and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Of course, Waynesville, 6 points on the board. Touchdown last time out, 76 yards. David Vernon to Josh Best looking for a similar result here. Longest play of the game for either side. Handoff, Tyreek Brooks on first down, following the blockers through the hole. Has a little bit of room. Gets to around the 40. It's going to be a gain of 7. And that'll be second down and 3. Other than the pass, that's Waynesville's longest play of the game. And that really tells you how stout this Lebanon defense has been thus far. But Waynesville, maybe. Again, we talk about you need to get a little momentum sometimes. Gains like that. Huh?
You need to get a little momentum and something else for the Lebanon defense to think about. They can't just be honed in on the run the entire time.
Up the middle now, Thomas Plummer on the carry. Gets a couple for momentum before he's pushed back. Going to lead to third down and short, third down and 1. As we are officially halfway through quarter number 2. 6 minutes left to go here in the period.
Big play right here, but definitely 4-down territory. Of course, Barkley's proven so
everywhere's
far.
4-down territory.
Everywhere
Right?
on the field, 4-down territory for the Tigers tonight.
Even when with the wind, around the 20-yard line or so, we're going to go for it. That's really been the motto today for Waynesville. So it is most likely 4-down territory, regardless of the result here. So third down and 1. Direct snap. Moving forward, Thomas Plummer kind of rejected on first contact, but he's just going to bounce that up to the right. He's got midfield. He's got the 45. Pulled out of bounds here, but not before he gets a large chunk of yardage. Ran into a brick wall at the line of scrimmage. Stays on his feet, bounces out to the right-hand side, and then uses that get-up speed himself to find his way in the Lebanon territory. It'll be first down and 10 from the Yellow Jacket 44-yard line.
That now, definitely the longest run of the day.
Are you trying to add it up
for
right
the
now?
Tigers? I was trying to add it up. I decided to just wait on you.
So 6 yards past the 50. Remember, that play started at the 42-yard line. So 8 plus 6 is 14 on the play.
Hey, I guessed 15. We're doing pretty well.
Yeah, you're getting there. Brooks set in motion here, but Vernon going to wait. The delayed handoff to CTP up the middle. Another couple of yards here. 2nd down and 8. Go ahead.
I haven't seen a whole lot of Michael Kelsey Jr. on the day so far. He has a rush for about 6 yards, and in the first quarter, it looks like he has a rush for 2 and a loss of 4. Not a whole lot of offensive plays called towards Kelsey on the day so far. That might be something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, we've definitely seen the handoffs, the carries split between CTP and a couple for Tyreek Brooks, although Kelsey Jr. is in the backfield. Shift at the line, wing back, CTP to the left. Dylan Smith, the fullback, and Kelsey Jr. going to take the direct snap. Moving to the left here, a little bit of trouble in the backfield, but falls forward, loses the football. That ball's going to be bobbled around here. Smith trying to catch it. Eventually, Waynesville's able to fall on it, but it will be behind the original line of scrimmage there. Kind of a popcorn football there as Kelsey lost it after contact. Smith had a chance for it, threw it back up into the air trying to wrangle that one in. And fortunately, a Tiger was there to fall on the football. They do lose some yards, but that's better than a turnover. It'll be 3rd down and 13. Now on the Lebanon 47-yard line.
Certainly a jump start for the Waynesville offense, but not the type that you want right there, as that ball was unpossessed for what felt like 20 minutes. I mean, it went high up into the air, bouncing to the ground. Thank goodness, though, for the Waynesville Tigers. Tiger was there to fall on it, I should say.
Vernon looking to go to the air on 3rd and 13, trying to find that out route. Has Brooks. Brooks, a juke back to the left, has several yards, might actually be around the 1st down marker. There, it looks like they're going to give him the 34. That would be enough for a 1st down. Good ball from the quarterback, Vernon. Now Brooks on the simple out route. Might get a measurement, might get a 4th down in inches here. Either way, good play to run on 3rd down and 13. Looks like we're going to get, they're going to say, they're going to measure this one. I was going to say, it's a little bit far away from the yard markers to maybe eyeball. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a measurement on this.
And this, as we see, is probably the most evolved that the playbook is for Coach Barkley. This is most likely the type of plays in the offense that he wanted to be running throughout the course of the season, just wasn't able to really get the guys going until district playoffs. It's
going to be just short. The measurement comes through, so it'll be 4th down in inches. Still going to go down as a gain of about 13. In fact, I know you've already written it down. Keep it 13. We'll give them it all. But it's going to be about 12.75, which is unfortunately just not going to be enough. So they'll place the ball on the right hash, and we'll get another 4th down here. Plenty of 4th downs here tonight for the Tigers. Last time, though, we're able to convert. And then on the very next play, well, not the very next play.
About a play later.
It was something like that. We're able to find themselves a 76-yard touchdown pass. I do the scoring summary. You do all the in-between plays. So either way, it was a good result for Waynesville. See if they can't cook something up here. Under 4 minutes to go in this first half. Play clock down to 15 as Waynesville approaches the line.
Approaches the line quickly.
Certainly hurrying up there. It'll be a single wing back set. Wing back to the left-hand side. Snap to Vernon here. Vernon keeping it. He's going to have it. As he dives forward, going to get to about the 31. Flag comes in after the play. After the play, if it's holding against Waynesville, that'll certainly put a damper onto things. But it came in very late after the play. It's going to be face mask called against Lebanon. Had a feeling. Don't know why I even mentioned holding, to be honest with you. But it's going to be a few extra yards for Waynesville. Gary, I'm going to be honest with you. That flag came in at the end of the play. There's only a few flags that really come in at the end of a play like that, right after the tackle. Don't know why my brain went to holding there. Maybe I should let the officials do their job sometimes. Maybe that is what they're paid for, and I'm paid to relay their messages to the audience.
I think speculating is one of the most fun things you can do.
All right. Well, this is awkward. 1st down and 10. Direct snap. Chase Thomas Plummer chased around, able to shake off a few would-be tacklers, and actually able to get across the line of scrimmage, and then some around the 1st down marker. Runs to the left-hand side, able to get himself about 9 or so, maybe even, we'll see. Nope, going to be about 9. 2nd down and 1.
And that was a blur. It looked like his body was a right angle for a moment with the way he took that hit from the Lebanon defender. The fact that he was able to stay on his feet at all, very impressive. And then to keep moving for a speedy gain of 8 or 9 yards on that one, very impressive, as he's really been all season.
Absolutely. This so far, Waynesville's most successful drive, aside from the touchdown. Vernon on the keeper, 2nd down and 1. Going to get to around the line here. Might still be a few inches short, judging by the line judge here. It's going to be 3rd down and inches. Waynesville, of course, the clock ticking though. Have about 2.5 minutes, 3 timeouts to complete this drive, but they are inside the red zone. It's 3rd down and 1 from the 17.
They've had success so far, not on the long 4th down and 3rd down conversions, but on the short ones, they've been able to punch it through very well, have the Tigers. See if that luck or that hard work and determination, I really should say, continues to pay off.
2 backs in the backfield here. It's a handoff. Kelsey Jr., he'll have the 1st down as he marches across the 15-yard line to around the 13. 1st down and 10. Kelsey Jr. this time on the carry. New formation. Haven't seen that formation an awful lot as well. No quarterback in the backfield that time. 3 running backs. You had Brooks, you had Kelsey Jr., and you had CTP. CTP kind of operating as the quarterback on that last play. Hands it off to Michael Kelsey Jr. Gets himself 4 yards in the 1st down. Back out there once again. It's going to be the same formation. Tal Ossie into the ball game now. He'll get the carry. Tripped up, gains 1, 2nd down and 9. So really focusing on the running backs right now as we see Tal Ossie into the ball game. Of course, has made most of his impact this season on the defensive side of the football. We've seen him intermittently on offense. Of course, had the long run against Rolla a few weeks ago. And also one, I do believe, against Bolivar as well. You shrugged your eyebrows at me. I think that run was against Rolla. Of course, Ossie has been an explosive running back all season long. Why not both? Here's a handoff. CTP following the blockers through. Going to get to about the 10-yard line. Going to be enough for another 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and about 8. Under a minute left to go here in this 1st half. Things are getting awfully dicey here for this Waynesville offense if they want to score before the half. Timeout going to be called, though. I believe timeout taken here by Waynesville.
Wasn't rolling my eyes at you. I forgot that I had missed the Rolla game.
Yes, because somebody had a wedding. Somebody was celebrating holy matrimony between 2 loving adults.
And they had to schedule it during football season.
Well, you know what they say. But anyway, 59 seconds left to go. I actually don't know what they say. 59 seconds left to go here in this 1st half. A touchdown, Garrett, right before the end. Maybe making it a 2-score game. Maybe chopping that lead down to 17, 16. Obviously 16 ideal, and you know that 2-point conversion maybe making a little bit of sense there. But maybe getting it to 16 right before the half. That would certainly be nice, I would say. Definitely gives you kind of a vibe that maybe, depending on how the 2nd half goes, you could find your way back into this one. Looks a lot better at 15 points than 23, that's for sure.
And with the way the offense has evolved now with this brand new formation we've never seen before, the pass that we've seen a couple of times but work better than it ever has before, you'd like to think the defense can kind of do the same thing and evolve in that same manner, maybe slowing down the Lebanon offense or stopping them altogether.
Have a minute to score here. Handoff. 3rd down. Thomas Plummer on the carry. Going to get close, but it's still going to be 4th down. It's going to be 4th down about 3, and I have to apologize. That timeout not taken by the Tigers. It was actually taken by Lebanon. Lebanon, of course, with how explosive their offense is, maybe they're still salivating at the chance to maybe go 80 yards, maybe go 90 yards here with under a minute left to play. So another timeout called, this one taken by Lebanon. And we'll just go ahead and keep it right here. So I've already talked through most of the timeout. Want to make sure we get all the action here as Waynesville marches down. This, obviously, Waynesville's longest drive, and this is something that you wanted to maybe see at the beginning of the game. Unfortunately, you know, we talked about it in the pregame, how important it was for Waynesville to have long drives, keep the Lebanon offense off the field. Those first few drives just under a minute, under 2 minutes even, giving the Yellow Jackets plenty of chances that they're just not going to miss.
And that's something that we did talk about before the game, is if Lebanon can get rolling and rattle off 2 touchdowns in a row, 3 touchdowns in a row, obviously just on the scoreboard the game looks out of hand, but also momentum in general is going to turn the other way. So you want to keep these long sustained drives going. You would have liked to seen it in the first quarter or in the first half of the second quarter, but better late than never as they line up once again in the spread 3 wide receiver set here.
2 wide receivers right, 4th down and 5. Vernon looking to go to the air, looking to his left, trying to throw it to the end zone. Ball's tipped. It'll fall incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Waynesville getting 8 yards away from the end zone, but unfortunately the drive's going to stop there. Lebanon no timeouts, 46 seconds on the clock. If they want to add more points here before the half, going to have to go 92 yards. And it really speaks volumes about this Lebanon offense here, Garrett, that I don't feel secure here in this moment. They're a team that can pick up any number of yards in just any amount of time. That's not a slight against the Waynesville defense. That's just how good the Lebanon offense has been this season.
No, with the guy on their team named Cade Mushaher, at one point this season was averaging well over 100 yards per game.
Going to be a handoff here. Musha up the middle. Flag thrown on the play as Musha jukes to his left. Going to get to the 30-yard line. See where the flag comes in. All the way back at around the 10-yard line. Might be a face mask called against Waynesville. And so tack more yardage here at the end of the run. The clock will continue to run. Well, no, not at the moment. 38 seconds here on the clock, but that puts Lebanon in about the 45-yard line. Remember, Lebanon playing into the wind as the clock starts up, 36-35. Another handoff here. Nathan Bartell going to have some room. He's going to get himself into Waynesville territory, now down to about the 32-yard line. There you go, 2 plays. They've gone from the Waynesville 8, well, the Lebanon 8, to the Waynesville 31-yard line. Going to spike to stop the clock here. 25 seconds left to go in the half.
And if you're the Waynesville Tiger defense right now, you are on your heels to say the least. Absolutely stunned. Like you said, you're not secure when the Lebanon offense takes the field ever that you're going to hold them, but with a little over 40 seconds left and no timeouts, you'd like to think your defense can hold them. So far, that's not the case, though, for the Tigers.
2 wide receivers, 1 left, 1 right. Lebanon going to go to the air here on 2nd down. Pass is caught near the sideline, but falling forward. No, trying to hook and ladder. Trying to hook and ladder there. The Statue of Liberty actually more, no. Statue of Liberty is the running play. Hook and ladder is the pitch, and that's what they did there. As they're going to spike to stop the clock once again. Gain of 9 on the previous play, 11 seconds left on the clock. The pass was initially complete. Austin Hendricks on the catch, then tried to lateral it to a second receiver.
It was Lebanon's first pass play of the day.
Yeah, 3rd down and 1. 8 seconds left on the clock. Bit confusing there. Ran another 3 seconds off the clock. Now our official's going to talk things over. This potentially final play of the half. Ball on the Waynesville 21-yard line.
Coach Christian doesn't probably have a whole lot of plays that you expect to go that long. However, any of his play calls could with the athletes on his team.
I think they're maybe resetting the clock. I think they're putting 14 on the clock.
We get 14 seconds on the clock.
That's what we're talking about here. 14 seconds on the clock, so add another 6. Whew. Doubles the amount of time. Well, almost does. It'll be 3rd and 1. Lebanon wind up here. They get the whistle, and now they'll spike the football.
A flag thrown beforehand, and that might have been a Waynesville jumper.
That's a false start called against Lebanon. You've taken the mantle from me. You cannot jump that call. So that's going to be false start taken by Lebanon. 3rd down and 6. Kind of a confusing end of the first half here. That hook and ladder kind of got everybody off guard. 3rd down and 6. Going to spike it again. And that'll make it 4th down.
Got to stop the play clock despite the penalty there. That keeps the clock moving, I believe. They have to spike it to stop it.
Yes. 2 spikes in a row. So, 11 seconds on the clock here. It's 4th down and 6. Again, this has been a very confusing start, or end of the half. 11 seconds.
Went from
One
football
wide
to
receiver
chess for a
left.
little bit.
Yeah, there you go. One wide receiver left. Smith takes a snap, looking to go to the air, rolling out to his right, going to go towards the end zone, but that ball's tipped and intercepted. Waynesville going to take the football here at about the 22-yard line. They'll have time to run one play. I assume they'll just go ahead and run out the clock, but an interception just before the end of the first half keeps Lebanon from potentially turning this into a 4-score game. The Yellow Jackets march down the field. That is Gavin Smith's first interception of the season.
And a turnover.
And
for
a turnover.
the Lebanon offense.
A turnover
My
for this
goodness.
Lebanon offense that takes pride in not turning the ball over. Again, we mentioned that, and I feel like that was almost foreboding in a way. I'm glad I mentioned it now. I used my commentator's curse for good, Garrett. As somebody got a hand on that on the line, and I apologize, didn't see who got a hand on it, but it was enough to let Waynesville converge on the football and pick it off here to get 3 seconds on the clock. Going to line up, pistol formation, actually going to pitch it out to the right here. Thomas Plummer going to try to take it. Clock expires as he's trying to keep it alive here. Going to get all the way to the 40-yard line. They're going to give him an extra 17 yards into the scoring book. That'll be the end of the first half. So a bit of a confusing end there to the first half, but as it stands, Waynesville unfortunately finds themselves down by 3 scores, 29-6, as we head on into the locker room. So we'll do what we always do. We'll take 4 minutes. We'll come back, have your scoring summary for you, and then we'll kind of get you set up for the second half here in today's ball game. But first, a 4-minute break. 29-6 our score. Lebanon leads Lanesville. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to Lebanon as we are at the half. Lebanon leads this one over Waynesville by 23 points, 29-6. Our score, Lebanon coming out quick and early and also fast as well. Some of those words meaning pretty much the same thing. But really, the Lebanon offense working to start this one off, really kind of putting Waynesville in a deep hole here. Waynesville, of course, always fighting, trying to get points up on the board themselves. We're able to get the 6, coming up just short before the end of the first half, though. Fortunately, though, holding Lebanon a little bit short on the drive of their own, heading on into the locker room. So, quick scoring summary for you here today. Of course, starting things out in the first quarter, Lebanon getting the football after a 4th down deep in Waynesville territory. Waynesville really kind of just adverse to the punt today. We have not had a single punt in today's football contest, but after a 4th down after a turnover on downs, that's the correct terminology there for you, Lebanon would punch it in a 1-yard run for the quarterback Gavin Smith. At the time, after the PAT, that had made it 7-0 in favor of Lebanon. After another 4th down and turnover, another turnover on downs. I don't know why I'm allergic to that term at the moment. After another turnover on downs there for Waynesville, it would be Nathan Bartell, who picked up his first touchdown of the day. Garrett, yardage?
It was 15 yards.
Thank you. 15 yards for Nathan Bartell. Another PAT made it 14-0 in favor of Lebanon. Again, another turnover on downs for Waynesville meant that once again for the 3rd straight drive, Lebanon would find themselves in Waynesville territory. It'd be Jax Glendenning who found himself the end zone for the first time on the day. Garrett, yardage? Thank you. 10 yards for Jax Glendenning. Right pylon dove in for the score. 21-0 there in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Then, I believe it was Waynesville's turn. Facing a 21-point deficit, facing, well, another 4th down. Waynesville was able to convert this time. The very next play, 76 yards. Josh Best sneaking behind the secondary. A great ball from David Vernon. 76 yards up the right sideline that at the time briefly made it a 21-6 ball game. But finally, it would be Lebanon who would score the final touchdown of the half. A 4th scorer for the Yellow Jackets. 13 yards for Caden Musha. He'd find himself the end zone for the first time to make it 29-6. So that's where we stand here. 4 touchdowns, 4 scores for the Yellow Jackets, but a nice, beautifully thrown ball, the longest play of the game so far held by the Waynesville Tigers. So we have got ourselves about 12 minutes left to go here in this halftime period. We just crossed the 6 o'clock hour. Remember, this game really trying to be completed before the rain gets here, before the storms really kind of get here. That half, a 1-hour half. Kind of on pace here. We don't really know when the storms are going to get here, but it's going to be sometime around the 7 o'clock hour. Currently making good pace there on that. We're going to go ahead and take ourselves another 4-minute timeout. When we come back, Garrett will have some stats for you. He's been ever so diligent over there in keeping them, working the calculator, working the numbers. We'll let him go ahead and take center stage when we come back. But again, back in 4 minutes, 29-6 our score. Lebanon over Waynesville. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back out here to Lebanon, where we are still about 8 minutes to second half here. Again, our score, Lebanon over Waynesville, 29-6. Waynesville able to find themselves on the board with a 76-yard touchdown pass, but again, that Yellow Jackets offense, 4 touchdowns and 4 different scores here today. So, of course, we've got numbers for you, and Garrett is more than happy to bring them to you. Garrett Bowles going to take over from here. Garrett, how's that first half for both sides?
Well, the first half, offensively, obviously, just by looking at the scoreboard, you can tell Waynesville Tigers not really holding up their end of the bargain in this district semifinal game. So far, of course, Lebanon up 29-6, and the offensive stats are kind of going to reflect that. So far on the day, the top guy from scrimmage so far is the Lebanon fullback, running back, whatever you want to call him. Cade Musha there is his name. You might as well call him that. 79 yards so far on the day with a touchdown. The second leading guy from scrimmage, though, obviously has a majority of the carries and no doubt is out carrying the rest of the players on either side. It's CTP, number 18 for us. 74 yards on the day so far. He's been great throughout the game. He's also been the workhorse back throughout the entire game. Like we said earlier, Kelsey Jr. and the quarterbacks and a couple of other options over there at the running back and at the other ball carrier positions not really getting a whole lot of opportunities. They're wanting to ride on CTP for as long as they can, get as much out of him. Of course, there is the chance this is his last football game as a high school Waynesville Tiger, so they may be looking to get as much usage out of him as possible. So 74 yards for him. Of course, on offense for the Tigers as well, receiving 76 yards, all off of just one play.
Yeah,
David
there
Vernon.
you go. 1 for 1. David Vernon to Josh Best for 76 yards. So
and the only touchdown of the game for the Tigers as well. So the passing game, one could say, efficient on the day for the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, 1 for 1, usually fairly efficient there. And, you know, it's something we mentioned with Lebanon. But, of course, Waynesville, they've had a few touchdowns come through the air. Kind of check the ratio maybe on that one as well. Definitely not as efficient. Of course, has at times struggled. But you got to love that ball from Vernon to Best there. Pretty much perfectly placed. In fact, 2 for 2 on the day is Vernon, also a 13-yard play to Tyreek Brooks. So, don't know if you got that one marked down there.
I should have, but now I am not seeing it.
89 yards.
89 yards
in total
is what I
for
am
Vernon
writing
through
down
the air
right now.
Here through the air. So, of course, big third down play, 3rd and 13 as well. Didn't get the first down, but set up a 4th and 1 that Waynesville was able to convert. So those are your stats for the day here. I think you got through them all right.
I can name a couple of other ones. I mean, Jax Glendenning so far, 22 yards on the day. Nathan Bartell had a big 30-yard run, I should say, that when Lebanon was starting to threaten towards the end of the second quarter, first half. Unfortunately, of course, for the Yellow Jackets, it ended up in an interception, but he had a big 30-yard run for a total of 72 yards. So even though he hasn't had as many carries as your Cade Mushas and your Chase Thomas Plumbers, he's still definitely been able to leave his mark on the game. And of course, Gavin Smith, 16 yards. He was able to explode for, I think, a 50-yard run last game. And so it's nice to see them kind of containing him a little bit better than usual.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, of course, we'll see where things kind of shake out after the second half. We've got ourselves about 3 minutes until we get there. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We'll take 2 minutes. We'll come back. It'll be time for the second half. Maybe we'll check on some scores before the kick. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back out here to Lebanon, where we are just a few moments, actually about 2 minutes, away from getting started here. The second half of action, 29-6 our score. Waynesville trailing the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. Connor Harper here with you, Garrett Bowles as well. Thank you so much for joining us, not only tonight, but all season long as well. Wanted to try to maybe check up on some district scores. Of course, you know, things a little bit wonky here with the storm kind of moving through the Ozarks, moving through the area. Some games kind of changing times here, but we do have some scores to talk about here. I skipped over West Plains, and I feel bad. West Plains almost certainly still in it. I do think they got the bye in their district. So West Plains currently, they are playing Monette. They are leading big at the half. They lead 28-7 over in Class 4 District 6. Meanwhile, Bolivar, they're in a dogfight. McDonald County, a good team. Remember, defeated Nevada earlier in the season, kind of ended Nevada's top 3 hopes this season, something I'm not bitter about at all. Bolivar tied with McDonald County at the half, 7-all. So the Liberators, I wouldn't say that one's maybe an upset. I think those two teams relatively even, but a close game down there in Class 4 District 6. Of course, only one score from Class 5 District 5. Remember that Rawley-Camdenton game is being played tomorrow, so the only score I have for you is Lebanon and Waynesville, which of course is favoring Lebanon at the moment 29-6. And really, that's pretty much it as far as scores go. Of course, there just flat out aren't a whole lot of games being played as you kind of start to move towards that end of the season. Teams from the Ozarks starting to get eliminated. Of course, we talked about Kickapoo. They were eliminated last week. Of course, Glendale is out. They lost to Raleigh last week. Branson's out. So you're starting to find fewer and fewer games. But hopefully those teams from the Ozarks, once we kind of sort things out here in these class and districts, kind of do the region proud for the rest of us, for the rest of the teams that are maybe eliminated down the line there. Maybe even Nevada. Who knows?
Ooh.
Maybe my alma mater. They have a chance. They really do have a chance. Of course, there's a lot of good teams. West Plains, McDonald County, and then, of course, all the Kansas City teams as well. You always forget how many Class 4, Class 5, Class 3 teams are in the state. You really do.
That is correct.
There's a lot of talent here in Missouri. Waynesville set to kick it away. Nico Fowl will do the kicking duties. Solid kick into the wind here. Gonna field on a bounce. Actually gets by the return man. That one's gonna bounce with the wind all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So the wind actually kind of working against Waynesville there. Lebanon not really playing the kick as well as they would have liked to, but it will be a touchback, and the Yellow Jackets will start their first drive of the second half at their own 20-yard line. That ball kind of, it was helped by the hop, but I would be remiss if the wind didn't push that one quite a bit of ways as well.
Oh, it certainly did, and Lebanon now not great starting field position, something that they're not used to dealing with so far in this ball game.
Well, their last drive began at the 8-yard line, almost took it all the way across the field. We'll see how their first drive of the second half goes. Gavin Smith under center. Handoff, Musha on first down. Able to get across the 20, gets a couple. Second down and 8. Again, that wind's still blowing. As they've turned the lights on here in the press box, I'm now forced to lean forward and look outside the window. We had to open it up here today. Now I get to see for myself here, Garrett, how windy it is, even so much as leaning out a couple inches past this window. I can tell you, it's a blowing.
I loved seeing your papers fly as soon as you open that thing.
Absolutely. Here's a pitch out here. Jax Glendenning on first down. He's got himself the first down and then some. Excuse me, second down and 8, but that's not going to matter. It's going to be a first down and 10 all the way out to the Lebanon 46-yard line. It's a gain of 23 on the pitch out there. That's been a dangerous play for him all night tonight. That pitch out to Glendenning.
Well, that's the scary thing about the Lebanon offense. You have to defend inside with Musha and then outside with Glendenning and Bartell. They can hurt you in so many different ways.
Man sent in motion. That's Hendricks over on the left-hand side. Lined up tight to the line of scrimmage. Here's another handoff here to Musha. Able to shake off one would-be tackler behind the line. Into the secondary. Tackle from behind. Jacob Forche chasing him down. Gain of 9, second and 1.
And there's the other way they can hurt you. Right up the middle there with Cade Musha, who doesn't get enough credit for his ball carrier vision. I mean, he's able to make small cuts and things like that that you don't really see. You wouldn't call them jukes or spin moves or any great kind of in-between jumping moves like that. They're just little footwork things to get a good position and break a tackle. He's one of the best in the OC at that, no doubt.
So again, second down and 1 here. Ball on the Waynesville 45-yard line, now officially into Tiger territory. Glendenning sent in motion. It's a pitch out to Glendenning. Has the first down, able to keep his balance. No, steps out of bounds. At about the 40-yard line, needed 1, got 5, first down and 10.
You love seeing the ballet moves on the sideline trying to stay in right there. These guys work on that so much. That ability to stay in bounds and footwork is something that a lot of high school football players and even some coaches don't realize is very, very vital to the small parts of the game.
So first down and 10 here. 10:33 left to go. I just realized how much wind noise is coming through my mic. Another handoff to Musha into the second line. Has himself another first down. Gets to around the Waynesville 27 now. Another pickup of 13. And again, first down and 10.
And the sky getting darker and darker. That rain definitely not too far behind.
That's what happens at night. The sky gets darker. But of course, I do understand what you're trying to say. It's a little bit quick on the trigger there, and I'm sorry. The storm is moving its way on in. Definitely some clouds in the sky, you're right. First down and 10, ball in the 27.
Speaking of moving, here's the Lebanon offense.
Yusha again on the carry. Gets about 7. They'll give him the 21, so how about 6? It'll be second down and 4. 2-minute drive, and now just a yard away from the red zone.
And still very little plays. I don't believe any plays have resulted in a tackle for loss for the Lebanon offense so far. They are efficient, to say the least, explosive at times.
Only one play tonight, a negative result for the Yellow Jackets. That, of course,
the interception.
Smith's first interception of the season. Second down and 4.
Definitely feels good to cause the first turnover.
It feels good. It really does. You love that for this Waynesville defense. Handoff here to Musha, though. You don't love this, however. Musha's just going to take the secondary into the end zone for another Yellow Jacket score. 21 yards out. Cade Musha hitting pay dirt. That drive really just all Musha. Special guest appearance by Dax Glendenning. The Lebanon makes it a 35-6 ball game.
And there's really not a whole lot to cover from that play. It's the same thing we've been seeing from Musha in this Lebanon offense the entire time. The ability to make small cuts in between the tackles, and it goes for big yardage whenever they wanted to. It did right there.
Going for 2 once again here. Smith on the option, keeps it himself, trots it in. That'll make it a 31-point ball game. 37-6, 9:16 left to go here in quarter number 3. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. So we get back to action here in Lebanon. Well, the wind hadn't really been a factor until just now. Trying to kick it away was Lebanon. Kicked it sky high, the wind moving the football backwards toward the Lebanon kicking team. The Yellow Jackets recover, and they'll come back on offense here, 9-16. They weren't even trying to onside that football, but the wind said, yes, you're going to kick an onside here.
They'll no doubt take the good field position and the ball back.
First down and 10 here. Smith going towards the air. Going to throw it right-hand side. Man wide open up the right sideline. Juking back towards the middle of the field. Open space in front of him. Flag is thrown as Lebanon will trot into the end zone, but this one might be coming back. Pass was caught on the catch. That was Bryce Malone. But from the reactions on the Lebanon side of things, I think this one might be coming back.
It certainly would appear so, and
of course it would be from a spot So there still will be a large chunk of yardage here, if the call, of course, is on Lebanon. Stay. Of course, our official's still talking things over. No indication just yet, but it will be a personal foul called against the Yellow Jackets. And that's something you don't really see Lebanon do all too often. The worst part about that flag, yes, it takes away a touchdown. It also happened well away from the play. No real reason to throw that block when you already had your man basically trotting into the end zone. The flag was thrown right as the tight end Malone was crossing the end zone.
Yeah, that's something you have to avoid, and that's something that Coach Christian no doubt will be addressing. Probably won't even wait till Monday's practice to address that one.
So that means it'll be 1st down and 4. Repeat the down, but backs him all the way up. Quarterback keeper again, Gavin Smith. He'll have the 1st down. He'll take it to about the Waynesville 29-yard line. And again, it'll be 1st down and 10. 9 minutes left to go in this 3rd quarter. Lebanon trying to apply the running clock. It is the 2nd half. A touchdown here would get that clock up and running. Of course, 35 points after the 2nd half.
And with the storm blowing in, I don't think a lot of these fans would be too upset about that.
Pitch out, left-hand side. Nathan Bartell on the carry. Cuts it upfield to the 20. Hitting now to about the 12-yard line. Gain of 17 and another 1st down and 10. That pitch out today has been, well, I'll say the source of most of the yardage. It's definitely been the play. Here's a better way to word it. The play with the most positive results. And again, we've mentioned no negative gains tonight for Lebanon. But Waynesville really yet to stop that pitch for 2, 3, maybe 4 yards. It's really been the play they've had the most trouble stopping. Here we go. Jax Glendenning, although it'll be a handoff to Musha in the end. Gets to around the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. Gain of 10.
And once again, a case of Lebanon just kind of doing whatever they want on the line of scrimmage and on the play. Going right up the middle when they want to, shooting it to the outside if they think they have to. Everything's working so far for the Yellow Jackets.
Glendenning sent in motion. Smith keeps it himself, untouched into the end zone, and Lebanon will make this a 37-point ball game. 43-6 our score. 8:12 left to go in the 3rd quarter, pending the 2-point conversion. And I think now we see, after that kickoff, why they're not attempting the PAT from the 1-yard line. They're going to go for 2 once again. Smith under center. I'm still just thinking back. That ball went forwards and then backwards. It was a boomerang. Handoff to Glendenning. He'll find his way in for another 2 points and make this a 39-point ball game. 45-6 with 8:12 left to go in quarter number 3. Be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Return here for Waynesville, this time able to get to the football this time. Football actually willing their way towards the Tigers. Gonna take it, positive field position at about the 38-yard line. 7:50 left to go, but again, that running clock now in effect with a 39-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. They lead 45-6. Connor Harbert here with you, Garrett Bowles as well. 1st down and 10. Waynesville gonna come to the line, 3 wide receiver set. Remember, playing with the wind at their backs. Waynesville maybe look to go to the air a little bit here. Vernon going to hand it off here on first down. Some room to run here for Thomas Plummer. CTP on the carry. Crosses the 42-yard line, gets to the 43. Cross midfield over to the 49.
And that's one of the great things about this spread offense that Waynesville can kind of do is it opens up so many more running lanes.
Next play here, pile forming at the line of scrimmage, still pushing though. Actually going to push the pile forward as it's begun to rain here in Lebanon. There you go. Couldn't see that throughout the closed windows. But they are going to get it. Gain of 3 on first down, second down and 7 for CTP. So the rain's begun. How long? Will it just stay a slight sprinkle though? I guess is the question now. Second and 7, still 3 wide receivers out. Vernon looking to go to the air here, rolling out to the right, looking towards the sideline, but it's thrown too far. And that'll lead to third down here and 7.
Waynesville going to try to make something happen here, of course.
Flag on the play. Holding against Waynesville. So Waynesville going to be flagged here on second down. That'll push him back well away. Again, 10-yard penalty, but from the spot of the foul all the way back now into Tiger territory, all the way to the 38-yard line. It's going to be second down and 23, a loss of 15 net.
38's where they started this drive.
Bess again looking to catch this ball at the right sideline, but with the wind, that ball just takes off. Falls incomplete once again, third and 23.
It is so difficult to complete a pass when we're guessing around 30 miles an hour of wind right now.
Oh yeah, the rain outside at the moment going sideways. Of course, it's still falling. It's impossible for it to stay suspended in the air. That's not how rain works. But it's pretty much going sideways. This storm's pretty serious tonight. And again, I wouldn't be doing my full job as an employee of Alpha Media in Waynesville if I didn't tell you to stay safe out there tonight.
Absolutely.
Storm's coming. Vernon handoff on third down. Up the middle, Kelsey Jr. gets himself a few here, gets to around the 43. Going to be well short of the first down, despite the gain of 5. The fourth down and 18. Waynesville yet to punt tonight, and it looks like that's going to continue to be the case. Going to go for it here. Nothing really to lose here, trailing by 39 in the third.
And if you're Coach Barkley, now thinking long-term rather than just this one game, you'd love to see some guys out here like Michael Kelsey Jr., Tao Aussie. You'd love to see guys who don't get a whole lot.
4 wide receivers set, 3 to the left. Vernon looking to pass, going up the middle. I think trying to find his fullback Smith. And again, another ball that just really takes off on him there, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Smith, the nearest receiver in the area, but again, going to reach back into my experience as a high school quarterback here for just a moment. I will will this one. I will not give you the satisfaction of bringing it up. People think, sometimes it's better to be throwing with the wind at your back, and it's really not. It's actually not good either way. You don't want wind, period. And we kind of see the reason why there. Vernon, those 2 passes without the wind, maybe they're in a better spot. They just take off otherwise. Here's a handoff, Nathan Bartell on first down. Gets himself about 8. Second down and 2.
And wind, unlike the Lebanon offense so far, is inconsistent. Sometimes it's going to be blowing 30 miles an hour. Sometimes it's going to go down to 15. That ball can carry so quickly at a moment's notice. You never really know where the ball is going to end up once it leaves the quarterback's hands.
Yeah, exactly. You just sometimes you have to just adjust and hope that the wind is feeling generous. Second down and 2 here. Glendenning sent in motion. Handoff to Glendenning. Again, going up the middle here. He crosses the line, but falls forward for about 4. And that'll be enough to move the chains. First down and 10 here on the Waynesville 30-yard line. Sorry, mesmerized there by the clock. It's going by 2-second increments at the moment. 38, and then it'll say 36. But it looks like it's fixed itself now. I was like, That's an interesting way of doing things, but first down and 10.
There's turbo clock, and then there's whatever that was.
Turbo clock. It was still taking 2 seconds, mind you. It was just skipping entire seconds for whatever reason. First down and 10. Another handoff, Bartell. Again, as he crosses the line, but these Lebanon running backs, they fall forward. Going to get himself another 4. And that's exactly the point we come back to earlier in the first half, Garrett. These hits are coming at the line of scrimmage, but they get so much speed across the line that their momentum carries them forward for extra yardage. This time, 4 yards for Bartell.
That yardage, no doubt, adds up over time.
Second down and 6. Quarterback keeper, Smith, shakes off one would-be defenseman. Crosses the 20 into the red zone now. To about the 17 now. Another first down and 10. 90 seconds left to go here in this third quarter.
That play call for Gavin Smith, quarterback of the Yellow Jackets, just seemed like Coach Christian said, hey, go out there and get some yardage. I mean, he was not, it didn't look like there was a specific hole or a specific way designed for him to run. He was just looking for any opening, and after stutter stepping a little bit, he was able to find it.
First down and 10 once again. Just over a minute left to go here in this third quarter. Smith sends Glendenning in motion, but it's a handoff to Musha. Musha swarmed, and Musha going to be pushed back a little bit. I think he got a yard. So, unfortunately, the trend still holds, Garrett, but solid play for the Waynesville defense. Refusing to allow Musha to really, again, carry it forward. Kind of the antithesis to what I just said about falling forward. Able to stand him up and push him back. Antithesis.
Even though it probably doesn't feels like it, it is a big win for the Waynesville defense right there to do something they haven't been able to do really all day long.
Second down and 10 now. Second down and 9. They did give him a yard. Another handoff to Musha. Nope, excuse me. Smith keeps it himself. Good fake. He's going to be rewarded. He's going to find himself the end zone for another Lebanon touchdown. 51-6. Gavin Smith pulls it away from Musha. Keeps it himself. Picks up his second touchdown run of the day. Clock will freeze at 10 seconds here. As Lebanon set to go for 2 once again.
And their fakes are so good. They're just able to draw the defense in so well. You never really know who has the football.
Handoff here. Musha jukes to his left, finds the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 53-6 the score. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Waynesville Tiger football right here on Z102.3. Oh. And once again, welcome back here to Lebanon. 8 seconds left to go here in quarter number 3. In fact, it'll be a quick visit with you. 53-6. Gavin Smith, his third touchdown of the day. Apologies, said 2. It was actually his third touchdown run of the day. But that'll be it here for quarter number 3. So we're going to go and take another 60-second timeout. We'll be right back with quarter number 4. Again, Waynesville going to go ahead and finish this one up here, trailing by 47. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back to action here, quarter number 4. Waynesville, unfortunately, looks like their season gonna come to a close here tonight, trailing big 53-6 here to the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. Connor Harbert here with you, Garrett Bowles as well. Trying to finish up the season strong, though, here in this district semifinal matchup. Direct snap here, Chase Thomas Plummer gonna hand it off to Kelsey Jr. Again, that 3 running back formation. Aussie, Thomas Plummer, and Kelsey Jr., your backs. Kelsey Jr. gonna take it forward here for about 8 yards. Second down and 2. Again, running clock in effect here. This ball game about an hour, 40 minutes old. 6:40. According to several clocks we have up here. Ball placed on the Lebanon 49-yard line. 1 man in the backfield, 4 backs. Man set in motion, that's Kelsey Jr. Thomas Plummer gonna fake the handoff. Nope, gonna give it off to Kelsey Jr. Kind of the antithesis to the good fake the other side. Flag on the play, though. It was a solid pickup all the way to the Lebanon 39, but I think this one might be coming back. It's gonna be holding called against the Tigers.
Other than holding, that was a beautifully ran play by Kelsey. Timed that out absolutely perfect. The motion at the beginning, of course, David Vernon probably setting him in motion there and timing out the rest of the play. It was an excellent play call there. Unfortunately, penalties.
Gonna negate that.
Absolutely.
What would have been a gain of 10 ends up being a loss of 10. It'll be second down and 12. Repeat, second down. Ball on the Waynesville 41-yard line. Again, 3 running backs in the backfield. Aussie, Thomas Plummer, Kelsey Jr. Thomas Plummer takes a snap. This time a handoff to Aussie. Aussie going to get himself a couple of yards back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 10.
And he does, Aussie I should say, run so physically, willing to lower his helmet any chance he gets. I'm not going to exactly say he looks forward to the contact, but he very well might.
He very well might. Definitely running like he's not afraid. And I would bet that he is not afraid of that contact. Here we go, Aussie again with the carry. This time a little bit of room to work with. Gets past midfield, has the first down, trying to find the left sideline. Ends up being tackled out of bounds, but not before he has the first down, all the way to the Lebanon 42-yard line. Again, we say this pretty much for every Waynesville running back, but I think it's really true, and I think it's been one of the bright spots of this running back crew. They run hard. You know, at the beginning of the season, and this is kind of a season in review kind of thing, Waynesville sometimes did a little bit of dancing behind the line of scrimmage, kind of got a little bit of cutesy with it, trying to juke left and right. As the season's progressed, we've really started to see them evolve into a much more downhill-focused offense. Case in point, Thomas Plummer here on first down and 10. Taking it left side, going to get to around the 35-yard line. Solid pickup here, about 7 yards.
And I think a lot of that ability to kind of jump forward at the line of scrimmage is just trusting your offensive line and trusting the play call. If you're dancing back and forth in the backfield, there's a certain amount of time where that's caused by not trusting the offensive line. Maybe, oh, is this guy going to make this block? Is this play call actually going to go correctly? The coaches, no doubt, trust the play calling at this point.
Tao Aussie on the carry this time. There's a big juke to the left, a great juke to the left, going to buy himself quite a bit more yardage. What would have maybe been a moderate gain of 5 or 6 ends up finding Waynesville in the red zone, all the way down to the Lebanon 19-yard line. Nope, yeah, the 19-yard line. Gain of 16 on the play. That juke bought him about 10 yards.
And it looked like something out of a video game. I think I've hit that juke a couple times in Madden.
Ah, well.
My goodness.
If it was Madden, the ball would have glitched out of his hands and somehow ended up on the Waynesville 15-yard line. True story, by the way. That game has not been the same. Thomas Plummer, direct snap here on first down and 10. Just taking it forward, gets to about the 15, gain of 4. As the windbreakers blow down there, I'm telling you, that win. I am so proud, is that the word? I am just so proud of the Lebanon faithful who have stuck around here tonight, because they're going through it right now down below us. Second down and 5 now. 7.5 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter.
And as much as these guys love football, it can't be fun to play in this sort of
Thomas
condition.
Plummer, right-hand side, going to be tripped up there. Man, if he'd gotten around that one guy, I think he would have gone for 6. Instead, he's going to have himself the first down. It'll be first down and goal here from the 10-yard line. Well, nope, going to give him 3rd down and 1. How about that? Still solid gain, 3rd down and short. And Waynesville trying to punch it in for the 2nd time here tonight. Trying to at least match their scoring total from the first meeting. Again, 56-12 the first meeting between these two teams. Kelsey Jr. sent in motion. Fakes the handoff. Thomas Plummer going to leap over the line. Trying to find himself the yardage. Showing off the hops there a little bit. Get him on the track team, the high jump.
We
He's able to get the yards he needs.
Talk about these Waynesville Tigers being fierce runners. They're not afraid to do little things like that with the jukes and the jumps.
That's the 2nd time we've seen Thomas Plummer try to go over the line here tonight. First time didn't work out too well for him. Kind of got held up in the air that time, though. Able to clear it. Able to get himself 4, and that's enough here. It'll be 1st down and goal from the 7. 7 yards to hit pay dirt. 6:22 left to go in this ball game. Direct snap, Thomas Plummer hands it off to Kelsey Jr., who crosses the 5, gets to around the 2-yard line. Another gain of 5 here. And Waynesville's knocking on the door. Officially halfway through quarter number 4.
You were right, Connor. This rain is really coming down now.
I hate to harp on the weather so much, but
almost at a perfect angle. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm glad you opened your window now. You can experience what I'm experiencing right now. And like I said, I hate to harp on the weather, but it has had an impact on today's game for sure. Vernon takes the snap, hands it off. Thomas Plummer into the end zone. Hear the Tiger roar. Touchdown, Waynesville. 2 yards to the house, Chase Thomas Plummer. And again, Waynesville will match its point total from the first meeting between these two teams back in September. It's Thomas Plummer takes it in for his first touchdown of the night.
And that's got to feel good to at least get back to where you were earlier on in the season. Losing worse than you did at the beginning of the season definitely would not feel good for the Tigers. Good to get some points on the board as well.
Touchdown for the senior here, 2-point conversion. Handoff. I believe that was a new back in the ball game. I believe that was Maurice Goins. Number 23 down there on the field with the carry. But he is going to come up short. And that will mean that Waynesville sticks it 53-12. So, it's trailing by 41, 4:45 left to go in this one. We'll take a 60-second timeout, come back in a moment. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. As we get back to it, kickoff goes out of bounds. So the penalty flag thrown. Lebanon will get themselves solid field position as we get back to action. Not a whole lot of time left here in this one. 53-12 our score. Waynesville trailing here by 41. As they close out their campaign, looking to try to close the campaign on a strong note. Again, as the Yellow Jackets come to the line here, it will be the second stringers. Going to rest up those starters for next week's district championship game. Get you some numbers here. At least trying to on the fly. In at quarterback, Nick Allen, sophomore. Handoff, first down to the fullback, swallowed up immediately. Gets forward for about 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. Second down and 8 upcoming here. And trying to get you some new numbers. Looks like that was number 23 on the carry. Bodie O'Neill, another sophomore. Second down and 8. Now under center. Again, 2 fullbacks behind the line. Keeping it tight are the Yellow Jackets. Again, handoff. Again, another couple yards. This time on the carry, Avery Starnes. Starnes, another sophomore. Just going to assume most of these sophomores, of course. At least the 3 we've seen so far.
And that really, I mean, still all positive gains right now. That really goes to show how deep this system of offense is implemented into the youth football, middle school, freshman, JV, all of it. I mean, this is the system. Coach Christian's system is exactly what they run from top to bottom. That's why they're able to find success at all levels here.
And set in motion, Starnes on the carry, breaks through into the secondary here. Waynesville not really electing to tackle there. Several just missed tackles straight up. Starnes just kind of running in a straight line as Waynesville dives at their feet. Well, now they'll lead them deep into Waynesville territory here. First down and 10 from the 29-yard line with just over a minute to go. Not really sure what quite happened there for Waynesville. Normally much better at wrapping up than that. Not sure if it's the wind and the rain. I know it's definitely not ideal down there at the moment. And a couple of arm tackles down there, allowing Starnes to just, again, run in a straight line as Lebanon will now shift to victory formation and close this one out here. So final score set in stone. Waynesville will finish up its season at 3-9 on the year. Of course, making their first district semifinal game since 2019, a victory last week against Central. And of course, make sure you stick around for the post game. Garrett and I, of course, will wrap things up here for you as we sign off for the final time and look forward to the winter sports season. Of course, I'll tell you a little bit about that. Don't have too many details on that just yet, but we'll go ahead and look forward there to that. So the clock going to run out here. Lebanon, of course, they'll advance to the district semifinal. We won't have an opponent for them just yet. That'll be figured out tomorrow, but we know they'll be the first to stake their claim with a 53-12 victory here tonight. So tell you what we're going to do. Say it with me, Garrett. Do you know what I always say at the end of these things? What we always do. Come on, try to keep up here. We're going to go ahead and take ourselves a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back here, and we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. But again, this one in the books, it's Lebanon 53, Waynesville 12. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, back once again to Lebanon. This one in the books. Waynesville's season comes to a close here tonight at the hands of the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. The Tigers fall in this one 53-12. Connor Harvard here with you. Garrett Bowles as well. Garrett working on those stats over there. Of course, we'll let him have an opportunity to go over some of those stats for the Tigers here in just a moment. But Waynesville, unfortunately, despite making their first district semifinal since 2019, the season does come to a close. They finish up their year at 3-9 on the campaign, as of course this game was controlled pretty early from the get-go by the Yellow Jackets. The wind playing, I would say, a lot into the strategy of Coach Barkley and the Tigers, electing to go for a couple of fourth downs in the first quarter that just didn't go the Tigers' way. And of course, when you're facing an offense like this, when you're facing an offense like the Yellow Jackets, if you give them opportunities, they're going to make good on those opportunities. And so when you kind of fall behind by 21 really early in that one, you kind of just dig your own hole there. So unfortunately, the weather does kind of play an effect here in this one, but Waynesville again, well, you got to take a look at this season as a whole. You got to take a look at the improvement that we've seen from the Tigers thus far. And you really look at that first game against Glendale, lots of penalties in that one, lots of blown coverages. And you kind of take a look at really kind of where things develop, and you see this is a much better football team than what you had kind of in week one. So the future's bright, but of course, season does come to a close. They're going to have to kind of hit the drawing board once again, kind of restock, reload, and get ready for that 2023 campaign. So some quick thoughts there. Of course, Lebanon, they advanced to the district finals. They will face the winner of Rolla and Camdenton. Of course, that game will be played tomorrow, and we'll kind of get to that. We'll kind of go over the schedule, and we'll see if I can't get a final from the West Plains and Bolivar game before we sign off here today. But we're going to take ourselves another quick 2-minute timeout. We're going to allow our sponsors a couple more opportunities to identify themselves. When we come back, Garrett will have those stats at the ready. Again, going to go over the Waynesville Tiger stats here tonight. We'll have those for you in just a moment. But again, final score 53-12. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Tiger Football, Z102.3. Once again, welcome back here to Lebanon as we wrap things up here tonight. Waynesville's season comes to a close at the hand of the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. They fall here in this one, 53-12. Connor Harbin here with you. Garrett Bowles, of course. Just some final thoughts here on this one, but first, how about some stats here tonight for the Waynesville Tigers? Again, CTP playing in his final game as a Waynesville Tiger. A good way to end, all things considered. Obviously wants the win, but stat-wise, nothing to sneeze at here tonight.
Certainly isn't CTP one of the lone bright spots for the Tiger offense today, clearing the century mark in yards, 104, as well as a last-second touchdown. Not really last second, but last-minute touchdown, really, as the Tigers drove down the field there against the Yellow Jackets. On the other lines, though, Michael Kelsey Jr., obviously a sophomore. He's going to have a lot of more opportunities to kind of grow and develop into his own type of player. Just 35 yards tonight, though. Definitely interesting to see how he comes back. And speaking of young, athletic guys who love to tote the rock, Tau Aussie, 33 yards on the day as well. But I think one of the most surprising things, because we knew Kelsey was going to get some carries, we knew Aussie was going to get some runs as well. We knew CTP was going to get close to that century mark, and he, in fact, eclipsed it. The impressive thing, though, was the passing. 76 yards on one play, of course, ending up with a little bit more than that, with overall 89. Rushing on the day, 172 yards, 261 yards of total scrimmage yards. That's nothing to sneeze at, and I know the scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect that right now. You had the penalties, you had some issues, you had a fumble that went back a little bit further than it was supposed to, the botched kickoff. A lot of things go wrong, but at the end of the day, 261 yards on offense, that's not the problem. That might not be the solution, but you're not going to be upset about it.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, Lebanon, just a great offense. You sometimes just got to tip your cap and say, you know what? You guys have the tools. We'll look forward to maybe next season. Again, this is a team that's going to have to reload, say the least. You had a lot of players who made an impact even tonight who will be moving on. Of course, they'll be graduating at the end of the year. Josh Betts, who had the touchdown catch here today. He, of course, is a senior. David Vernon, who threw said touchdown reception. He is also a senior. And, of course, CTP also scoring on the day. So, yeah, the scoreboard, you would have liked to have maybe won this one. You would have liked to keep it competitive. But if you got to take a moral victory from anything here tonight, it is the fact that your seniors showed up, played well, and ended up getting in the scoring books here tonight. So I think we'll go ahead and check one last time here on those district scores, because I do want to go ahead and make note. Remember, West Plains leading big over Monette in their contest, but of course checking the Bolivar's game as well, if it'll treat me right. There you go. Awesome. So we've got, of course, those two scores. West Plains, they lead Monette 35-7 in the third quarter. Do not have an update from Bolivar in McDonald County. That game's still, according to, well, my sources, that game's still at the half here at 7 apiece. So that'll pretty much do it for us here. But, of course, Garrett, final thoughts as we wrap things up here. Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just say, for the season and for the Tigers, this is a season where we had a little bit, I won't say controversy, but a little bit of confusion at the beginning of the season with the hiring of head coach Kyle Barkley. That happened a little bit later in the season than you really would have liked to have seen it, and usually have seen those hirings happen. And so that's something that the offense and the defense have definitely kind of had to adjust to throughout the season. Obviously, you end the year 3-7, last year 2-7 or 2-8, I believe. So at least you've improved in the win column. We know that we have some young guys who are coming up who have made immediate impacts. Aussie and Michael Kelsey Jr., who we've said the name of a billion times and for some reason couldn't right there. But it's been a great season, and obviously it's been fun. This is something that I had never done before, and so on a personal note, thank you to everybody who bore with me, and Connor, I'm sure.
And bore with me as well, the one who's been doing it for a few years. But, of course, Garrett, it's been an awesome pleasure. It's been a pleasure calling games with you, of course. A lot of people don't know this. Garrett and I literally met the day of the first game.
That is true.
The day right before the Glendale game. So it's been a lot of fun calling games right alongside Garrett. And, of course, like I said, kind of at the outset of this postgame, I think the best part about it is just watching this Waynesville team grow and improve. Week one, it was a close game against Glendale. Then you kind of took your lumps here and there against some teams like Kickapoo, like Lebanon the first time around, like Camdenton, there we go, trying to think of that third team there, kind of running the gauntlet. But then you take a look at some of the games where, you didn't really end up in the win column, games like Rolla and Bolivar, but you just see the improvement that this team has really made throughout the course of this season. And you got to tip your cap again to Kyle Barkley, of course. Like you said, hired on just before the season. That's not typical by any means, just to kind of see what this Waynesville offense was able to do. Kind of in the later stages of the year. I think that bodes very, very well for the future of this program. But, of course, that will pretty much do it for us here tonight. For Coach back in the studio, he's done a great job all season long. Of course, the technical difficulties that we've sometimes had, he's handled them like a pro. And, of course, for my partner, Garrett Bowles, I am Connor Harbit. Hope you enjoyed listening to this one as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next season, you've been listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Good night, everybody. Be good people.